Hey everybody, how's it going? James here, and today I figured I would do something a little different and do kind of a response video to a question that was on Reddit in the subreddit for Elder Scrolls Legends. Um, I don't want to give the person's username or anything. I did tell this person that I would be doing a video on this, but the holidays came up, and I didn't really focus on doing any videos, so I'm 8 days behind. I hope the guy doesn't mind. And a lot of people look like they've commented on it and put their own 2 cents in here, and that's fine. I'm not saying that anybody's wrong or anything. I just told this guy that, or this person, that I would do a video answering his questions, and I feel like me doing a video answering questions is a lot easier because I'm not so good at typing it all out like most people are doing a whole essay, on on their questions. So I just figured I would, do the video. And after all, it's what I do these videos for, is just to kind of get the word out for the game because it's in early beta. So, supporting the game is very important to me because it's a game that I really like. So, anyways, let's get started. This first question is, well, first, before I say anything, I want to start with that I am not claiming to be a professional at this game whatsoever. I'm not saying that what I say is should be followed. I'm just putting my opinion in 2 cents and just answering this person's questions. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. So he says, I'm new to TSL Legend or TESL, Elder Scrolls Legends, coming from MTG Magic the Gathering. I'm assuming. Curious about the following things: what is a good mana curve? In other words, what's a good percentage for 0 cost, 1 cost, 2 cost, etc. in a 50 card deck? So, um, in this game, that's one thing that I really enjoy. It kind of breaks the mold of most of these card games that you see out there, where you don't have to fit that bill that most of these card games are doing. For instance, here, let's go into some decks. Of course, it's always a good idea to have somewhat of a decent mana curve, depending on what deck you're playing. Really, if you're, if you're playing Zoo deck, obviously you're going to want more low cost creatures, just like any other card game, really, in that aspect. But if you're playing like for instance, here's this scout deck here. And this is a different variation of most scout decks, but you can see in the curve down here, it kind of peaks up around 2, and this got a little bit more late game creatures in it than most decks. You see that you got 9 5 drops there, and on a, I don't know if most decks it's 5 7 drops, for instance. That's kind of a big number of late game drops. You wouldn't want to put that in an aggro deck. But that's not to say that you can't. I mean, there's one good thing about this game is there's so many different variations of different decks where you probably could run an aggro deck with some late game cards. I mean, you got 50 cards in the deck, and that's not top out. You can have, I think, up to I think they said 70. And there has been some decks where I've run like 52 cards or 53 cards because there's just that one or two uniques that I really want in there, and I don't want to forgo like the crushing blows or something, that is really also good for the deck too. So you don't have to run 50. You can run 52, whatever. Um, don't let that 50 minimum stop you. You know. And if you're running 3 of each card, running 52 is not really going to change the possibilities that much of drawing the card that you need. But I would say, to answer your question, a good curve would be, something like that. Really, where you're not too much on the low cost. You're kind of peaking around 2 and 3, and then coming around 4 and 5. And on a, that answers your question, but that's not really a solid answer, and I apologize. It's just this game. Um, it's got a lot going for it in the fact that you don't have to. You can totally break that mold. Like look at this curve doesn't have hardly any 0/1 0 drops, or has 1/1 drop on Golem, and this is a really strong deck. This is an archer deck, but you can see I got a ton of 2 drops, you know, coming down around 3 and 4. Got a lot of 5 drops in this deck. And then kind of in the, you know, 6 and 7 drops, you know, going down a little bit. And yeah, I hope that helps you out. I could show you a bunch of different decks, but I don't want to make this video too long. I don't want to waste anybody's time. So let's get on to the second question. What are good card type ratios? How many creatures versus spells versus items, etc.? And this kind of falls into the first question, really. I mean, not really, but the cool thing about Elder Scrolls Legends is you can look at this, you can highlight this little, I can't point at it, but you can see my mouse here. You can highlight it and it shows you the amount of creatures, actions, items, so on and so on. Now, depending on what deck you want to play again, you know, I have a control mage here, and this is a different type of control mage, so it doesn't have a lot of actions that some do. Some control mage decks have, but you can see here the actions here. I got 19 and 30 creatures, and I consider that to be a pretty good ratio for a control deck. You can probably have a little bit more actions in this deck. I got another deck here that I've really been playing around with that it's not, you know, anything to write home about, but I've had some really good success with it, and I've had some bad days with it too. And this has got 8 actions and 9 items, which kind of the same things as actions, I guess. Really, they don't, you know, you're not putting a creature on the board, you're buffing a creature. So, and you can see the curve here as well, and I consider that to be, I guess, a good curve. Something like looks like that, and that ratio might be a little high right there. I would maybe go a little bit more creatures, less actions. But again, depending on what you want to do, there's a lot of cards that benefit from actions. There's a lot of cards that benefit from items. So it's really how you want to level it out based off of your playing preferences. Of course, I would definitely keep probably, I mean, well more than 50% creatures in your deck. Because you don't want to be stuck with, you know, a handful of items or actions. And there's cards in here like, for instance, in the strength category, a card called Plunder, where it produces 2 random actions. So for 1 card, you're going to get 2 random. So you can, if you really want to roll the RNG, you know, you take out something like Steel Scimitar. I won it, but you could take a card like that out and, you know, roll a dice on this. So, you know, one action card is producing 2 items. So, but lots of fun stuff there. So, I hope that answers your question. And a lot of these aren't really, there's really no straight answers for some of these. So, what are the primary strengths of each suit? I will answer this as best as I can. And please don't blow me up in the comments if I'm wrong in some of these. So your first attribute is strength, and this kind of really benefits off of you know, breaking. There's a lot of cards in here where you benefit from breaking ruins. It's a really aggressive color. Lots of cards in here that you know, really fast. This one, Cause Fire Ramp, deals 2 damage when you attack your opponent. This one right here, if you break a ruin, you do 1 damage. There's other cards in here for getting rewarded for breaking ruins. So it's, you know, strength, aggressive. Intelligence is, you know, lots of actions, lots of cards that benefit from actions. Some cards that, you know, like Evermore Steward, where it has guard and ward. Shrieking Harpy, you're controlling a little bit, so a little bit more intelligent gameplay, I guess you can say, a little bit more controlling kind of. But you got cards like Soul Split where you can get into the aggro game. Willpower is kind of more of like a, I guess you would say like kind of tokens, you know, where you're flooding the board, you're overwhelming your opponent, and of course you're benefiting from overwhelming the board with cards like Bruma Profiteer, where every time you play a creature you gain health. And this willpower also, you know, of course, like Snow Wolf, when you play it, you or not Snow Wolf, I'm sorry. There's another card in here where you, something wolf. Wolf, what, I cannot say that word. Drop it down and it drops another one in the other lane. Of course, the Willpower is home of one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion, and that would be Piercing Javelin. And it's an action card that just there it is right there. And surprisingly, it's a common, but it's Prophecy, so you know, can trigger off Prophecy Rune, but it wipes anything out in the game except for there's a couple of cards. Nahagli being one that you cannot take off the board. I mean, if you silenced it first, you could, but Agility is just that. You know, you have some agile creatures, I guess. So there's some lane shifting mechanics in here to where you can lane shift from lane to lane, and that's pretty powerful. There's some shackle cards in here where you know you can shackle the other creatures. This is probably one of the most what's the word I'm looking for? It's very well optimized, this color Agility. There's some really good cards in here. Lots of pilfer cards in this color as well. I guess this I don't know about really what the strengths would be of this. You know, just the fact that it has everything. You know, you got your cards, your removal cards. You got your you got some guard creatures. You got, you know, your pilfer. You got some cards to help you stay ahead in life. You got Snake Tooth Necklace that, you know, can give you drain. Your draw mechanic is in here. You know, cycle cards, lethal cards, cards that produce other creatures, sticky cards. So yeah, it's a really good Agility. Is really good. Moving on to Endurance. This has more of your a lot of lethal cards in here. This is a deck that seems to have a lot, or this is a card type. Sorry guys. It's a type that has a lot of regenerate cards. You know, hence Endurance. A little bigger creatures that tend to have a lot more health, or possibility to have more health. There's some silences in here. And of course there's some cards here that are fitting good with other decks, like Midnight Sweep. It's an action that produces two troopers in each lane. That's a good card that goes with the tokens deck. There's big creatures in here that you can't play unless you have a full lane, or if the other creature doesn't, you know, throw anything down. Blackworm Necromancer is kind of a really good card in this deck, and combos well with a card in Agility where you can gain health to get a you know, above health against your opponent and be able to play a card like this. Yeah, you know, and it's home to Nahagli, which is the one that we just talked about. So yeah, and then of course you got dual attributes, which there's really not. I mean, it's dual attributes. I guess the strength of this color is, you know, you could play. There's really no strengths. I mean, well, except for the fact that Edict of Azura is a fantastic card. I mean, there's really no, you know, common trait that they all share in here. So, and then, you know, neutral is kind of spread all over the place. There's some great cards in here. This Close Call is a new card that just came out that I think is absolutely amazing. And I have a lot of fun with that in my Control Mage deck. You know, so just, yeah, Odavang's a really great card. Yeah, but nothing really particular about this. I hope that explains that and answers that question for you as well. And I hope that's what you were asking. What are the primary strengths of each suit? And what are some good color combinations? So, really, I mean, right now I think what's top tier is Scout being the green and purple, the Agility and Endurance. You really can try to control the game by making favorable trades until towards the late game, where you just overwhelm the deck with really big creatures, and your opponent has little or no cards in their hand, and you could either one turn kill them or just, you know, 2 turn kill them. That's a really good deck right now. The blue and purple, which is Sorcerer, I believe, is also another good deck right now with the new cards that have come out. Archer, which is red and green, strength and agility, has always been, since day one of the most strongest combinations or archetypes or whatever you want to call it in the game. And that's just, it's just, there's so much versatility there. And they combo well together, especially with the red having a lot of the pings that you can, you know, just do 1 damage or whatever to the opponents, and then you have cards like Leaf Licker and Finish Off where you can, you know, finish them off and wipe them out. So those are some good color combinations. That being said, that's not saying that they're the best. I mean, that's the great thing about this game. You can if you really know about deck building and you have fun with it and you really make some cards work well together, you can, I mean, essentially take any color, I guess, and make it really good. I think the weakest one right now, and it's not to say that before the Orc card came out, I think Warrior was probably, which is red and purple, was probably on the lower tier list. But now there's a new Orc card out that makes this a really fun, pretty good deck. I think Spell Sword or Tokens is falling down a little bit. I haven't played it in a month or so. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. And to close your questions, you said one of my favorite aspects of Magic Gathering was deck building. I honestly enjoyed deck building more than I enjoyed playing the game because it felt so satisfying for building a strong, reliable deck. I'll let it get into TSL and build good decks, so any guidance is welcome. Well, I hope I was able to guide you a little bit, and I will agree with you that deck building is very fun, and sometimes I just build decks and I won't even play them just to kind of get that satisfaction that you're talking about. But I will say too that this game can provide that. I mean, it's so much fun to build decks, and you know, it sounds like the sky is the limit here. I mean, the Elder Scrolls Legends is you know, they have a data pool from not just Elder Scrolls but like Skyrim and some of the other games that they come out with. And if you're familiar with any of those, they're huge. I mean, there's a lot of lore and characters to pull to be able to you know, get more cards and info into this game. And you know, if you look at it here, you do the math, the game's only been out since I don't know, shoot, I can't, like June of 2016. I got into the game right towards the end of closed beta. So, but you can see here, the game has got 1, 2, 3, 52, 350, 360, 362, 370, 377, about 400 cards in the game already. And I mean, compared to Magic the Gathering, yeah, that's nothing. But for now, with the game just being out, you know, I think it's pretty good. And this game has a lot of other things that most don't have to offer. So if you haven't played the game, I'm assuming since you're on Reddit, and this was 8 days ago, you probably already are playing the game. So I really hope that I helped you out and maybe, you know, persuaded you to play the game a little bit more and answered some of your questions. This video is going into 19 minutes. And, you know, hopefully other people have questions, same questions, so this isn't directed towards one person. It's kind of a little weird, I guess, to have one video to, you know, for one person. So, but I like doing these informational videos like this. And, you know, I guess it's only 19 minutes long, so why don't we just go ahead and hop on the ranked play. And we're going to play a quick deck, so this isn't, you know, going to drag on forever. We're not going to do any controller scout. We'll do this goblin deck here that I saw on CVH. I saw CVH play it. So credit goes to him. I don't think I changed. I think I did change 1 or 2 cards in this deck. I'm not positive. Playing against Rock Strongo. Not sure if I pronounced that right. So let's see how this goes. The Unvanquished playing Spell Sword, and I'm not optimistic here, but hey, we got the ring, so that's good. Okay, not a bad start. Got some goblins, or a goblin to benefit from this. So yeah, I really hope I answered your questions to your satisfaction or anybody's satisfaction. If anybody had those same questions, yeah. Drinking our cocktail here and relaxing. So I'm not going to play anything because I have nothing to answer Murkwater Witch with. So nothing huge happens next turn, and we'll play Nimble Ally. Or maybe Young Mammoth, depending on what he plays. This video shouldn't take too long. All right, so we'll play Young Mammoth and the Murkwater Goblin. Just gonna put this over here, and then we can play our Murkwater Skirmisher next turn to give this guy a pretty considerable buff.
The waters of life.
Maybe we'll do Murkwater Witch to keep him alive, and then next turn we can use Skirmisher to buff both of these goblins. Alright. And I'm not going to ring that out because I have nothing to put it up against. I don't know if I want to break a ruin here. Yeah, why not? And we are, we get punished for it. You can say we are an aggressive deck. Maybe we'll, okay. That's alright. He'll take this out, or yeah, he'll take that out, and then we'll buff that. Oh well. I was hoping that it was a piercing javelin and wasted on, not really wasted, but rather him play it on any of these.
My claws are sharp and thirsty.
Alright, well that's unfortunate. That's going to take that out. We can Shadow Fiend preset, but I think that's kind of a waste. Don't know exactly what deck he's playing. Pretty sure the theme here is lethal. He's got that one legendary card that... we should probably silence that because that's going to disrupt us. And we'll just kind of sacrifice this, I guess. Because if we buff things up, we're only going to be able to keep this over here. This is going to die. You're only going to be able to do 4 damage anyways. So... why not? I think this is kind of a waste of Shadow Fiend Priest.
You must be cleansed.
But... why not? Now our Murkwater Skirmisher is unplayable next turn because we don't have any goblins on the board. Yeah, I should have saved that. Probably a bad play, but oh well. Let's move on. We'll just do this. We need to get rid of this dude here with Train.
If I fall, the Hist will reclaim me.
Ifra stands with me.
Probably not the right choice there, but oh well. You can see, true to what I said earlier, I'm not the best at this game. So, had a couple of drinks, a little tilted, so probably not the best time to be playing. But oh well. What are you gonna do? And that's why I should have saved Shadow Fiend Priest.
Mother of mud.
By Arcase Beard, this day
I really want to play one of these just to get some creatures on the board, but I mean it's just We might as well. 4/4 for 4 is not bad. Yeah, we have another one to buff him up next turn. Gotta let our opponent break some ruins here. He's probably gonna trade. I will say though, I've had some very fast wins with this deck. I think the fastest one one of the fastest wins I ever had was with this deck. Turn 3 or 4, I think. I can't remember how. But this guy was involved. I know that.
I am a child of darkness.
Another reason why we should have kept Shadow Man
Won't
Priest.
escape alive.
So it looks like our opponent's going to overwhelm us here. Too much life gain. Let's go ahead and just sacrifice that lane for right now.
Found you.
And we're not going to... Oh, wait, we're not going to break a run. We'll just play... Hopefully he doesn't have Dawn's Wrath. I don't think that... You're welcome. He does have Dawn's Wrath, I guess. So,
Your pain.
I can only assume that's why he said thank you. You know, yeah, there it is. I was just gonna say, him playing that in this deck didn't seem right, but hey.
Meet death's dark embrace.
There are ill winds this day.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to lose. I'm trying to be optimistic here, but
Your pain is delicious.
that guy's a pain in the ass.
End of the road.
He's got all the right cards in his hand for this time.
Fear death.
Gotta clean up his board a little bit. He doesn't have many cards in hand, so not out of the realm of, you know, we could still win, but
Claws are sharp
not
and
very
fleshy.
likely. We might have a chance to buff some goblins here, so this is nice. Of course, this deck really, this card here is the card you want. It's, we're not going to play that. Well, yeah, why not? No, shoot, I shouldn't have done that because he's got Gold Crown. Oh well. Oh well. Hey, you're welcome.
Do not vex me.
Your storm is no match for mine.
Alright, well, hope you enjoyed the poor gameplay by me. And we're just going to go ahead and concede because this game's over, so.
It has been an engaging hunt.
It has been my honor.
At least you didn't say thank you. It's not over yet. That's real
Thank
annoying.
you.
Yeah, there it is. What an asshole. Oh, man. That chat, that emails are annoying sometimes. So, anyways, I'm going to end this video. Don't want to go into the half-hour realm, which I think we almost already are. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe, like, share the video. Until next time, good luck and have fun.